YouTube world. So this morning I was doing my regular devotions, and it just, there's some days where it just hits you like a ton of bricks, and today was one of those days, and I want to share with you guys because sometimes on those days I feel like I have to share it, because what if somebody out there is dealing with something that this could help? So I'm going to read to you guys. This is the NLT version, and it is James chapter 4 verse 13. It says, "Look here, you who say, today or tomorrow we're going to go to a certain town and we'll stay there a year. We'll do business and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here for a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own plans, and all such boasting is evil. Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not to do it." Ah! So I have a, what is it? I have a Life Application Bible. That's the box. I still have been keeping it in the box because I'm such a dork, because it's new and pretty, so I want it to stay new and pretty. So this is what, like the little study part below. So it has all this stuff. So let me read you guys this. Let's see if I can get to focus. So for those of you who like to read along. "It's good to have goals, but goals can disappoint us if we leave God out of them. There is no point in making plans as though God does not exist, because the future is in His hands. The beginning of a good plan is to ask, what would I like to do in 10 years from now, 1 year from now, tomorrow? How will I react if God steps in and rearranges my plans? We can plan ahead, but we must hold on to our plans loosely. If we put God's desires at the center of our planning, He will never disappoint us." And I love that. That is so good. And obviously the verse is so good, because it's not saying don't make plans, don't think ahead, but what it's saying is if you're doing all that and you're not praying about it or asking God, is this what you want for me? Then it's not His plan, it's not His will for your life, it's your own. And all of us could probably think of a story of where we went off on our own plan and our own will, and it just ended up in a disaster. And then we could think of times where we followed God's plan and God's will, and how blessed we became from something that might have not seemed like it was going to be a blessing in the beginning. We always tell this story, but it was a huge moment for us. It was when Brad lost his job, for his 12-year job that, he made over $100,000 a year. It was a good job, and it literally closed overnight. Like, he had a job, we had stability, and then overnight it was gone. And I can remember just feeling like the world had ended. Like, it literally felt like the world had ended. I was pregnant with Aubrey. I was 8 months pregnant with Aubrey, and I was terrified because now I don't have insurance. We couldn't afford the Cobra because, obviously he's not making money anymore. It was just such a scary feeling. We didn't have much of a savings account because, we spent what we made. And to think I have to support 3 kids at the time, and myself and my husband with nothing. What do we do? Where do we go? But in our heads, we were going to retire from that job. We were looking to buy a house. We're making all these plans because we had this amazing job. But we knew in our hearts we were supposed to be quitting and going into full-time ministry. Well, full-time ministry doesn't make that much money. So we were so like, well, we could just volunteer still and make good money. But it was, for us, it was too hard to do everything we knew we needed to do in ministry and still be able to have a family and work full time. It was just, our family was what was suffering. And we knew that that wasn't right. We knew we had gone to school to become full time for a reason. So that way, we knew that was God's plan for our life, was we were supposed to be in full time ministry. And when that job closed and when all our plans had fallen apart at that moment, I felt like the world had ended. But then God, God had a plan, and He had this job in the high desert as children's pastors set up way before I knew my world would get rocked. And we have been so blessed here, and we have been you know, we have been able to learn so many things and, you know, do so much more. Our freedom to minister and not have to worry about a full-time job. Have we had to make huge sacrifices? Yeah, sometimes God's plan definitely means there are some sacrifices. It doesn't mean it's going to be this easy, cushy road. It just, you know, I just, after I read that, and I write out my prayers, one of the things I wrote is that I don't want to spend one day out of your will. I don't care if it's that I have to go through a trial that looks seemingly so hard. If it's in your will, I want to do it. Because a trial in his will reaps a reward. A trial out of his will usually reaps, like, you have to repent and you have to take another detour, you know, and I don't want to do that. I would rather take a trial that's in his will and that I can see my character grow and see things that he wants from me, that I could become the daughter that he wants, you know. So I don't know. Today, guys, if you're making these plans for your lives and you're not including God in it, I just heed this warning, you know, heed this warning that you're boasting about your own plans, and God has a great way of rerouting us, you know, like, rerouting. We can go off track as we want, but eventually, as long as we're his children, he's going to want us to veer back to his purpose. And how many things are you going to have to go through? How much are you going to have to, you know, it is sin to know what you ought to do and not to do it. We were in sin when we were not obeying the command to go full time. We were in sin. That's crazy. So yeah, you guys, I mean, yes, it's great to have 5-year plans, 10-year plans, 3-year plans, tomorrow plans, but if God needs you to rearrange those for him, you have to be willing to do it, as hard as it might be. And, you know, I don't know. I hope that's for somebody. I hope you can... Are you just snuggling me? I hope you could get something from my little study this morning. That's all I read. Sometimes when I don't, like, I read until, you know, I can get something or pick it apart, and I only had to read 4 verses today, and I'm floored. So, Ezra. And this little one does this the whole time I'm reading. Do. Alright, guys. We'll see you in a little bit. It has begun the wrapping of presents. Can't really show you all the rest of it because all the presents are out right now. But I'm going to try to wrap as much as I can, at least get a couple of kids done before Ezra wakes up from his nap. And yeah, because I got to get this show on the road. I try to wrap them quickly so that way if they find them, they're already wrapped, so they still don't know what they are. I'm trying to get some vlogs up for you guys. I don't know if you can see that, but I was a dork and closed my computer, so it might take a little bit longer now. But yeah, I'm trying to get some stuff done while he's sleeping. So good morning, guys. Merry almost December 1st. It's November 30th. It's happening, people. Christmas is coming. Cheese. As soon as he heard the camera go on, he said, "Cheese, you're so silly." We're waiting on Daddy. We're gonna go to lunch. We're gonna go to Olive Garden. So excited. But he's taking forever. He did this to me yesterday too. He was gonna bring home lunch, and he ended up like coming home an hour after he had said, and I was starving by the time he got here. So he's doing it to me again. I'm getting hungry. Once I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And then I got almost all the laundry finished, and I have to pack and go to the beauty supply today. And what else? Wash my makeup brushes. I have a lot to do today, actually, but I'm feeling a little bit lazy, and I just want to go to lunch. So that's what we're gonna do. Lexi made us some delicious eggnog. I'm gonna cuddle with Christmas tree and a movie. We're gonna watch Practical.
Festive Christmas socks.
Oh, look at you. Last year's stocking stuffers. We're gonna watch Practical Magic just because she's never seen it before, and it's actually one of my favorite movies. So we were trying to find a Christmas one, but I came on this one and I was like, yes. Brad is at that basketball game late, so he'll be home soon enough. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.